Hey there, and welcome back to another week of Cooper's Virtual Cooking Club. This week we're going to be going over a great recipe that is going to be grilled. And also some great tips for when you're grilling to make sure it's done safely, it's done deliciously, and it's done successfully. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get started. I have my grill set up, I have my vegetables, and I have my meat that I'm going to be grilling today. You see here I have a propane tank attached to my grill, which is normal. So the first thing that you're going to want to make sure you do is you're going to open up the propane tank so that there's gas going to your grill. If you're using a charcoal grill, make sure that your briquettes are lit and that they're starting to get hot. So I'm going to turn the propane so that I'm going to release the gas, and then there's a few knobs on the grill here that say start high, and then there's a button over here that you would hold down in order to get the flame going. So most grills have this, and make sure you're practicing proper safety measures when doing this. So make sure you open up the gas, and then you're gonna move the knobs to high, and then you're gonna press down. And if it doesn't light at first, it's okay. That might mean that you have to take a match or a lighter and just light the prongs on the inside to make sure that you get your gas grill going. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn the propane on, I'm gonna get the grill going, and then we're gonna let it get hot before we put some food on it, okay? You wanna turn it all the way to the left, you're gonna loosen it, and then you're gonna turn your knobs to start. And if you see here, you see the flames coming up, there's flames on both sides here. So you're gonna let your grill get hot, you're gonna close it for a few minutes, and once it gets hot, then you can put your proteins on. Now, while it's heating up, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be making today. So, I prepared two different types of things to grill. One thing which I love to grill is vegetables. So today we're going to be grilling some peppers and onions. When you're grilling vegetables, you want to make sure that they're cut very thick. You don't want to make them too thin so that this way it'll barbecue nice and it won't cook like way too quickly. So I kind of cut my pepper, not so much. I covered it in some coconut oil, which is why you see it's white, and then some spices. So the way this is cut, I can kind of just lay it on the grill and then just flip it a few times and it'll be ready. Same thing with my orange pepper over here. So you see it kind of like fanned it out, so that's what I like. And same thing with my onions. My onions are in pretty big chunks over here. So this way, they don't just burn right away when you put them on. Okay, and then in terms of the meat, I have some parguillot here that are marinating. I marinated them overnight. You can marinate them an hour before you're grilling or even a few minutes before, but I like to get it marinated for a long period of time so that this way the flavor really sets in. And also I have some mushrooms in there and some onions as well. I'm sorry about the background noise, they're mowing the lawn here. But let your grill get up to temperature. And you can also spray your grill to make sure that it doesn't, that your stuff doesn't stick. I have oil on most of my foods here, so I didn't spray it down. Additionally, you're gonna want a few different types of instruments for whatever you're grilling. Since you're grilling the parguillot, you wanna have something to make sure that you're able to grab it and flip it. And these are kind of for the vegetables. You don't really wanna mix these up because if you're using a utensil for raw chicken, then you don't wanna then use that on the meat, on the vegetables, because vegetables don't have a real step involved in order to get rid of bacteria that's on them, and there's bacteria on uncooked poultry and meat. So it's getting up to temperature now, and you might see some smoke at some point. That's okay. There's fire involved here, so it's a little bit of different situation. Also, you might want to have some paper towels to just clean your hands throughout. And also, you should designate a fork or a spatula for only using for once the items are fully cooked and then transferring that to an aluminum pan, okay? If you want to be on the extra safe side, you can have a thermometer, which you can use to make sure that your chicken is cooked fully or your steak is cooked all the way through. I'm not doing steak today, but whatever rules that we're applying here, you can really apply to most things that you're going to be grilling. So My grill is nice and hot. You see the smoke coming up. So I'm gonna start with my chicken. So I'm gonna use this big fork. Whenever you lay things out on the grill, you want to make sure that they're not stuck together, that they're not bunched up, so that this way everything cooks all the way through, especially for your proteins, okay? Some of these pieces are really big, so you can break those up if you want. I did not think to do that, but you can totally do that. You're gonna wanna get these on, and then you're gonna close the grill. That's a big thing. A lot of the cooking is done when the grill is closed because all the heat stays in there. I have my grill right now on high, but you can use it on whatever temperature setting that you prefer. Okay, so here, let's have a look at our grill right now. Okay, the chicken is on, and now we're gonna close the grill. And we're gonna wait probably about 3 minutes for the chicken to get nice and caramelized on one of the sides, okay? You see my backyard, you guys have seen my kitchen, you guys got the whole tour of the Cooper Virtual Cooking Club. Okay. In the meantime, we can give some healthy tips about our items that we're gonna be using today. So, grilling is great, gets you outside. You know, it brings a lot of people together. It's really nice to have a barbecue. And also, what we're making today is a great source of protein. And the vegetables are also a great source of vitamins and minerals as well. Make sure you have a balanced meal, whatever you're grilling. You know, if you're just making steak, maybe grill some vegetables too, or maybe some corn on the cob, which is great on the grill. Whatever you like, and it's a great way to get outside and spend time with your family. And it tastes amazing, which is, I think, the most important part. So yeah, we're gonna let this cook for probably another minute or so, and then we'll see if it's ready to flip. Okay, everyone? All right. Moment of truth. Let's check on these. Okay, so you can usually tell when an item is ready to be flipped when you stick your fork in and you try to lift up, and if it doesn't give you any resistance, that means it's usually ready to flip. So see this? Didn't give me any pull, and you got some beautiful grill marks over there. Let's check this one out. Also, look at that. Woohoo! All right. This is gonna be a great meal. Okay, this I think can be on for a few more minutes, and same with the other ones in the back. Alright, in the meantime, I'm going to move things around a little bit, and then we're going to get our vegetables started, because vegetables underratedly take a pretty long time to cook, so I want to make sure that those get done. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this down, flesh side down, and when I cut the peppers, I made sure to take out all that white fleshy stuff, so that this way it's not like bitter and stuff. So I have I put some of my peppers on, and I'm gonna put some of my onions on also. Onions are kind of tricky to grill because a lot of times they just kind of fall apart, so just be very gentle with it, and don't try to move them around too much. All right, let's get a look at how this looks so far. See, those grill marks are what you want. All right, so we're gonna close this for another minute or so, and then we'll flip the rest of them. And also, I'm gonna make sure to put my mushrooms on at some point, because if you know anything about me, you know I like mushrooms. Kind of adjust your heat settings too if you see that it's getting too hot too fast. Sometimes I turn it down a little bit. I also tend to find that my front burners work much better than my back burners, so if I need something to cook kind of quicker or get a nice sear on it, I'm gonna make sure to put that on my front burners. And then something that, you know, I'm okay with it not getting the greatest sear, I will put in the back. So sometimes I'll have the vegetables in the back and the proteins in the front. Okay, so you see the smoke, that's okay. So let's test it. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. All right. And now this last one. See, this last one doesn't have as great a grill marks because it's in the back. So I'm gonna move this one that's in the front over onto the back. You gotta be strategic with how you're placing all your items that you're cooking. What I really like about grilling parguillot is that they really don't dry out as easily as chicken cutlets. So you can use this recipe for chicken cutlets by all means, but for me, you know, I kind of like just being able to cook it as much as I want. I don't want to worry about it drying out too much. So that's kind of like why I prefer to grill parguillot. But everyone has their own preference. So do whatever you like, whatever you enjoy. I'm gonna check in on these peppers a little bit. Let's see. Okay. All right. Not much of a sear yet. You'll notice with vegetables, they won't stick if they're not ready. So it's not like the protein situation. The proteins will stick to the grill if it's not ready yet to be flipped. So just something to keep in mind and something to know. And I'm gonna place my mushrooms on the grill too. See if I have some room for those. Those are pretty easy. They kind of just, you know, you're able to tell pretty easily once they're done and ready to be taken off. For the first time, that was exciting. Nice. The onions get a little bit of a char, but you don't want it to be too much, because then those are not good. No one likes that. If you ever want to know if your proteins are fully cooked through, specifically if it's chicken or beef, you can take like something like this, and with the end of it, you just kind of like poke a small hole in it, and you see if the juices run clear, that means it's fully cooked. And if they run red, that means that it's not fully cooked, or pinkish, that means it's not fully cooked. You can also always use a meat thermometer, which will tell you an instant read temperature at the middle of your protein, and you want to make sure if you're cooking chicken, it's at least 165 degrees. And if you're cooking something like beef, that kind of ranges in your preference level, be it 145 degrees, which is what I look for because I like it, you know, medium well, more so than rare. But I think chicken specifically, you should make sure is fully cooked. Same with ground beef. If you're making hamburgers, you should make sure the middle of that also is up to temperature, because you don't want to get sick. That is for sure. All right. Woo! Okay. I took off my first protein here. It felt very firm on the utensil I was using, so I could tell it was done cooking, and I poked through and the juices ran clear. So that is a great way to tell. So right now you're looking at what we got here, which is looks delicious, and everything is coming along. It's almost done. These parguillot I think are probably finished. Just need about another minute or so on some of them. So you see the inside there. You see how it's still a little pinkish. You want to make sure that that pink is gone. It's kind of harder to tell on dark meat though, because it is, you know, whereas white meat, it's really white on the inside. That char is what you want, if you like it a little bit more burnt like I do. So yeah, these vegetables also are coming along. So you see those char marks on the pepper. That's what you like to see. This is basically done. It feels like very leathery almost. That's kind of what's going to happen when you grill your vegetables. These mushrooms, those, you know, can go on for a long time before they really start getting too charred. So yeah, I'm just kind of moving those around. But yeah, this is exciting. This smells really good. I hope yours ends up too, which I'm sure it will. Okay, you want to make sure that for your proteins that it's cooked all the way through. You can use a meat thermometer like I said, or you can use a trick where you cut it open, or you can use your fork and see if the juices run clear. All right, everyone, so my parguillot are done, and I think these peppers can be taken off. You see the charring on that? On both sides. See, it's got like a leathery kind of a texture. You see when it starts to wilt, that's when you know it's done its thing. All right, you can leave it on. I'm gonna leave this one on for a little bit longer because I think it's got just a little bit more to go. And same with these peppers. Okay, and see my onions are charring nicely. You can turn the heat down a little bit if you see it's getting that effect, which means it's burning a little bit. Same with this one. Also, when you're grilling your vegetables, you can definitely put a sauce on it. I didn't, but I definitely have in the past. And it is a nice little bit of an addition because it gives it a little bit of flavor. I just seasoned my my vegetables with oil, salt, and pepper. All right. Okay. Moment of truth. Take that off. These are some big pieces, so you're going to want to make sure that it's fully cooked. And if you're ever in doubt about that, you can always use your meat thermometer, or you can heat it up in the oven at 350 for probably like 20 minutes to make sure that it gets its thing. So now we're just going to finish cooking these vegetables, and I'm going to move this to the warmer part of the grill so that this way it kind of just finishes cooking. And then I will show you the end result, which is really exciting. All right, I'll check back with you all in a few minutes. Look at that. That's what you like. That's why grilling is great. All right, see you soon. All right, everyone. Our grilling seems to have come to an end. So something that's really important that you make sure you do is that you should make sure you turn this knob all the way off when you're ready to turn off your grill. So don't just turn the grill to off, make sure that you turn the gas all the way to off. So it's gonna be the opposite side of the way you turned it. So if you turned it left to turn it on, you're gonna turn it right to turn it off. So you see on mine, it says close and open. So I'm gonna follow the close, and I'm just gonna turn it all the way down, and then my grill will be off. Okay, so there you have it. Here's our final product. Our chicken and our vegetables are done. So make sure you always practice off proper safety precaution. Make sure that you always practice proper safety precaution when it comes to grilling and cooking in general. So for grilling, make sure that your gas is off, make sure that your flame is off before you finish, and make sure that you wipe down your grill with a bristle, or you can use even some tin foil, make a tin foil ball, and just scrape it to make sure to get all the grease and all the anything that's stuck to the grill. Anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I hope to see you soon, and I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Please send any pictures that you have. Stay well. Bye.